my time. This is my moment. You better bet that I'm on it. Ready and set, I'ma own it. Blast it to 10 and keep going.
Hey guys, how you doing? Sean here. Like I said, I was going to go live right after we got the results from last night. Let me just tell you at the top. Last night was a great night for us as Democrats across the board here in the great state of Georgia. Tonight, I'm talking to everybody all across the country and really across the world, but I'm really just talking to us right here in Georgia. As we are now moving the ball going more and more toward November. Let me just say right off the top, thank you for supporting my campaign. I think as many of y'all guys know, I wasn't running against anybody in the primary. So I thank everybody who coming out and voting for me. But then now we got the ballot set, and Clay and I are going to go at it again. And I promise you, this coming November, we are going to flip this seat with all of your help and all of your support. So I'm ready to go. We got a little rest during the primary season. We were helping out other candidates, and I'm glad to say many of those candidates actually they won last night. But at the end of the day, I am a team player. I'm about just trying to help any and everybody out, and that's what I plan to do between now and the time we get to November, is to try to help everybody from the top of the ticket all the way to the bottom of the ticket, specifically here in Northwest Georgia. But I will say, if you think you need my help somewhere else in a different part of Georgia, get in touch with my team. We'll make it work. I know gas and diesel's high, but I'll get there and try to help you shoe up your base, and at the same time maybe get some others out that potentially wouldn't vote for you but will now with my help. So with that, let me just say, tonight, if you have some questions, please just throw it in the chat. My team is going to help me out behind the scenes. I'm not going to say I'm going to be able to get to every last one of your questions, but if we get to it, I will answer your question, go from there. So again, thank you for all your help. Thank you for all your support. So let's just jump right into it. Put your seatbelt on and let's kind of get ready to roll, because I'm only going to hold you for an hour. I was that student at school that said, look, I don't want to stay here for 2 and 3 hours. Tell me what you want me to do. Get it done. Let's get out of here and go get our mission going. So as y'all guys know, I spent 40 years in the military, loved every day of it. Even the crazy days, I loved it. But what I would tell you is I am a mission-focused person. I like to understand the mission, and the mission for us here in Georgia as Democrats is very simple. Win in November, period. Nothing else. Win in November, period. Right now, in the great state of Georgia, the Republicans are trying to throw everything they possibly can at us as Democrats, but at the same time, they are actually fighting amongst themselves. And when I say fighting amongst themselves, the Republicans are in a battle between, am I a Republican or am I a Trump Republican? And as you can see right now, last night that played out, because in many of the races in Georgia, when it comes to the Republican side of the House, they actually are inside of a runoff between now and I think June 16th. Don't quote me on that. My team, please send me a little note and let me make sure I pull the right date out of my head there. But in other words, what I'm saying to you is right now, the Republicans are fighting amongst themselves as Democrats. And I'm going to slow down when I say this. As Democrats, last night we had an incredible night from the top of the ticket all the way through, regardless of who you were supporting or not. In many of our races, we still have 1 or 2 runoffs that we got to get through. Yes, and we're going to support those individuals. But when it comes to the top of the ticket, we know our senator is Jon Ossoff. We know our governor candidate is Keisha Lance Bottoms. And we know here in the 14th that our congressional candidate is me, Sean Harris. We know that. And on top of what I mean by the 14th, we also can say for the first time, sometime in the last 16, 20 years, in many of the state House and Senate positions at the state level, we actually have Democrats running in those particular positions. So I just want to say to everybody across the board today, last night was the election. We all stayed up super late because it's the first time in my lifetime that I ever seen Atlanta basically say, we're not going to tell you any results until 11:02. That's the first time I ever seen that in my entire life. But at the end of the day, we got the results. We found out that Mrs. Bottoms, Keisha, is now our governor candidate. She got the 50+1. What I will say, and I have talked to most of the candidates today via text because I knew basically every last one of them, and I told every last one of them they ran an outstanding race. Outstanding race. What I'm saying to you, not the candidates, but I'm going to say to you as supporters, hey, get in behind your candidate, because here in the next couple of days, your candidate should be coming up on the net and saying, hey, we ran a hard-nosed race. However, Mrs. Bottom, she won it. The people of Georgia have spoken. Now, all of the people that are following me, all the people that are following Thurman, all the people that are following Jeff, all the people that are following Jason, and on and on and on, let's all get in behind Keisha. So when we get to November, we can flip this state blue at the governor's level, because as in Sean Harris' opinion, until that governor's seat is blue, then this state is really not blue. And let me also say this for our audience that are not from Georgia. Our Governor Kemp, our governor just last week said that after these elections that we're in, June 17th, he's calling a special election to bring everybody back in. And on top of bringing everybody back in, they're going to do two things. One, they're going to actually try to figure out how are we going to actually vote in November. Yes, I said that, because they took the Q codes that we're using today or last night, and we're going to be using these runoffs, and said they are illegal. They did away with them, but they did not come up with a plan. So he had to bring them back in for that particular session. But he shocked the world and did something that he said he wasn't going to do. Now he's going to have the Republicans come back in, because they know in their heart of hearts that this state is about to be flipped, because all the Democrats are coming back together, and all the Democrats are going to go out and get everybody else to come out and vote, because the Supreme Court has taken our right to vote. I'll talk a little bit more about that. But to stay on this particular piece right here, Kemp has brought them back in to redraw the lines. What I would tell you when it comes here to the 14th, I've been running for a few years now. But the crazy thing about it, seems like every time I run in the 14th, the number stays the same, but my district lines almost change every time that I run. The first time I ran against Marjorie Taylor Greene in the primary, Gordon County was in my district. We had a stronghold there. And then less than 4 weeks before the election, they changed the lines again, and I got this place called West Cobb. And we spent all of our time trying to explain to the people in West Cobb that now they're part of the 14th. And that was to Democrats and Republicans and independents. They just couldn't believe it. Now, since they actually see, the Republicans see that West Cobb is voting for a Democrat, voting for me. Paulding County is voting for a Democrat, they're voting for me. Rome, Georgia, or Floyd County is voting for me. Dalton, Georgia is voting heavy for me. And then all the other little bitty small counties are also moving 20% toward the Democrat. I guarantee you, when they go back in there in June, they're going to do everything they possibly can to redraw what we call CD14, because they know come November, we're going to flip this seat. Because here in our little bitty part of Georgia, Northwest Georgia, I'm proud to say it. I didn't know it the night that we lost to Clay, but I found out the next day that we actually closed the gap by 25 points. That's amazing, because if you can close it by 25 points here in Northwest Georgia, Ruby Red District, the reddest district in all of Georgia, then most places around the country, They're not down by 25 points. They're down by 10, 12, 8, whatever it is. They can win. So we're going to continue to fight here, not only to help us here in Georgia, but we're going to be helping people all around the country because we got something special up here in Northwest Georgia. But a reason why I said all of that to get back to this point, in order for us to win as Democrats, I'm going to slow down and say this. In order for us to win as Democrats, we don't need to be fighting amongst ourselves. We need to make sure that whoever the candidates are that went through the rigors of this primary, we all get behind, because too many times, too many of us stay at home and wonder why we continue to lose elections. I think it's been about 30 years since we had a governor, a Democratic governor here in the great state of Georgia. I think it's time for that change, and I think Keisha's going to be the right person. And we're going to be doing everything we possibly can up here in Northwest Georgia to get Keisha and everybody else, the Senator John, and everybody else down ticket, and everybody else across the board to the success line, because we need it as Georgia. And when I say we, what I've been telling everybody up here in Northwest Georgia, this election, don't sit it out. This election is about your kids and grandkids. And also, depending on how old you are, you could be actually talking about your great grandkids, because right now, the Supreme Court has already told us you don't matter anymore. So I am saying to my brothers and sisters across the board, get back in the game. Go get registered now. Go vote in these runoff elections. Go vote in local elections. Go vote in everything, so that you understand the process, so that you're not nervous, or you're not trying to figure out where I should be going on election day come November. Put your reps in. Let's get down to it, and let's go win this thing. So again, put aside all of your differences. If you take nothing else from what I say tonight, please put aside from all your differences. In all the different elections that I've been in, and in all the different things I've done in the military, after the thing is over, pick up the phone, call the individual, say, hey, it was a great race. How can I help you? How can I get him on board with you? We don't actually have to agree on everything, but because we are Democrats, we agree on enough that I can get in behind you. And the other piece I'll just go on and say real quick, all the people that work behind the scenes as consultants or whatever you want to call yourself, get on board and help us get everybody elected. Do not be out there trying to divide everybody because you're trying to get a paycheck. I said it. This is bigger than somebody trying to get a paycheck. This is the time. We do not need to be wasting no time 2-3 months from now while these Republicans are in these runoffs fighting and killing each other. This is the time that we need to consolidate and start moving out on our plans to flip the great state of Georgia and get things done. You're hearing it directly from me, and I'm not just saying it. It's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to do everything in my power to get Jon Ossoff elected. I'm going to try to do everything in my power to get Mrs. Bottoms elected. Now, let me be clear with that on that piece, because I live here in Northwest Georgia. You may say, well, hell, Sean, you don't have enough votes up there to make a difference. I call BS. I almost said stronger words. I call BS, because guess what? I will promise you this. Northwest Georgia and North Georgia will be the deciding votes when it comes down to it. Yes, my brothers and sisters in South Georgia and Southwest Georgia and down with Savannah, we need those massive numbers. But when the thing plays out, you're going to find out in these little bitty counties up north that the top of the ticket and across the board pull those little bitty counties where they got 600 votes, 800 votes, 1,000 votes. And that was the difference in flipping the whole thing, because we are trying to get votes all over Georgia, just not in Atlanta and all the major cities. Now we have moved out to the rural communities. We're in every little small town, every little zip code, the whole 9 yards. And I look forward to bringing I look forward to bringing Keisha. We on a first name basis. I look forward to bringing Keisha up here to Northwest Georgia and presenting her to everybody and just having a great time, because Northwest Georgia deserves that. And we're going to actually bring in some others during this election as we get everybody excited and kind of go from there. So again, that is my ask of you. Tomorrow, anybody who was a candidate at whatever level you were, pick up the phone tomorrow. If you already hadn't did it, pick up the phone tomorrow and call that person that you ran against and say, hey, you know what? That was a great race. Yes, maybe it got a little heated, some things were said, but guess that's politics. Yes, we don't agree on everything, but we agree on enough because we're Democrats. And publicly, on social media, at your churches, at whatever events you're doing, come out so that all your people that support you, that love you, say, hey, Sean told me, or whoever, Jim or whatever it is, told me to go and support the other candidate, because this election is bigger than just saying, well, this is like a football game or not. And so I just put that out there. I ask you for your support on that, because I am truly concerned that we might get to playing games with ourselves and let the Republicans catch back up with us. The other thing I want to say is, we do as Democrats have a few races that are still going to a runoff. I want to make sure that we support those individuals. I want to make sure that we treat these runoffs with the same respect that we treated all the rest of the races, and help those individuals win their particular runoff, whoever it is. I'm not going to say I'm supporting this person or that person. Only thing I'm going to say to the runoff pieces of this thing is this. I am so proud to be a veteran. You just don't know how that title of a veteran helps me identify who I am to my core. And I'm so proud to see that so many veterans throughout Georgia stepped up and said, you know what, I've already served this country one time and I'm willing to serve again. And so I just say to all the veterans out there that are running, I don't care if you won last night or you're in a runoff or you didn't win. Thank you for stepping up again, but don't go home and sit at home. Come join some other campaign and help those individuals actually win the thing, because I know you understand mission. I know you understand mission, and I know you understand building a team and getting it done. So I ask you, the ones of you that are still in the fight, trying to actually win your runoff, hey, go do it. The ones of you that didn't meet the success that you wanted to meet last night, you know doggone well. The ones of us been to combat know doggone well we didn't win every damn day, but we got right back up the next day and went back out there and got at them again. So that's the only thing I'm saying to you. Get back up, strap it back on, and come and help that other candidate that perhaps maybe beat you out, but help that person to actually win against the Republicans come November, because we need your leadership. We need your backbone. We need your honesty. And we need you to just be standing beside us when everybody else get kind of shaking in the boots. You can slap somebody on the side of the head and say, look, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And because you said it's going to be okay, everybody else calm down and we keep going forward. So thank you to all my veterans. I look forward to supporting you in any way I can. At the end of this discussion that we're having tonight, what I will do is, or I guess go on and tell you, I've tasked my staff to put together some kind of social media post that shows all of the veterans that are running for Congress throughout the great state of Georgia. On one flyer, it's not saying I'm endorsing you, but I want to make sure that everybody in the great state of Georgia know that veterans are stepping up throughout this state, all the way from Savannah to Augusta to up here where I'm at to wherever else. Veterans are not sitting on the porch anymore. Veterans are moving into the political game, and veterans are going to work together when we get to DC or wherever we going to the Dome or whatever we're doing. We're going to work together because we got a couple of things in common. And that thing that we have in common is service to our country and something bigger than self. So that's what I'm going to do for you. I don't even know if I'm the highest ranking service member that's running for Congress. I don't know, nor do I care. The key thing is I'm retired. And oh, by the way, I just want to do it because I want to bring recognition to your race so that if I put it in my social medias, you never can tell. Vote Vet, Common Defense, and others that support me may look at your race. It's not guaranteed, but they may look at your race and say, you know what? We're going to give that young lady or that young man a shot because we didn't even know that he or she was running. So I tell all the veterans right now, my team is going to be reaching out to you. I ask you to do two things. Go find that last official photo that you had when you was in the military. I don't care. It was when you was 10 years. I mean, from 10 years ago or 5 years ago or 3 years ago. Find it. And then also your official photo that you use as your campaign photo. What I want them to do is put your photo up of the military and right beside it as a civilian. We'll make sure we put the disclaimer and stuff on there to keep us all out of trouble. But at the end of the day, I want the great people in the state of Georgia and also around the world to know that you are stepping up again. And I know some of you, I know personally, but I don't know everybody personally. But I want to make sure that as I'm trying to help people get elected, across the board, because this is not about me. God knows I want to get elected and go to Congress. But if I don't get elected and go to Congress, as long as John Ossoff is in Congress, and as long as Keisha Bottoms is the governor, and as long as everybody below me that's running for something, city council, county commissioner, running for going to be a representative at the Dome of Atlanta or a senator, if all those people win and I don't win and I'm still Sean the Farmer, I have won. I want to make sure everybody clearly understands that, because this mission that I'm talking about, this election I'm talking about in November, is bigger than any one of us. But we all got to be working together. We all got to be rowing in the same direction. We all got to be moving out with purpose in order to win. And when I say moving out with purpose, I know last night most of you are still tired. I know some people today are a little down in the dumps. That's natural. In the morning, get up, shake it off, and let's go to work. Period. Did everybody just catch what I just said? Tomorrow morning, get up, shake it off, go to work. If you're in a runoff, you should be running right now. If you just won, you ain't won a damn thing. The real fight is coming. So you better get up and get to working and go to work. You don't have time to go on vacation, because guess what? November is coming, but we actually also got a couple of other dates, like I already mentioned. The governor is pulling everybody back to the Dome. I think it's on the 17th of June. And on that particular day there, they're going to be do everything they possibly can to rewrite these districts in 2028. But in order for us to make sure that those things don't come true, we got to make sure that we got people elected right now that can influence that. And on top of that, make sure we got a governor that when that BS goes through, that she can actually veto it. So there you go. I just gave it to you in a whole nutshell. You don't have to go to Georgetown to figure that out. You don't have to go to Harvard to figure that out. I gave you that information straight from my basement. Let me get a drink of water here. Okay. I already talked about, let me see what else I was supposed to talk about. I told everybody, thank you. I said, veterans, I talked about that. I talked about reaching out to your opponent. I talked about putting everything aside. I even talked about this election is bigger than you. It's about all of us. It's about your kids and your grandkids. And depending on your age, it could be talking about your great-grandkids. I talked about all that. Let me look and see what time it is. Oh, I'm doing pretty good. It says I've been talking now for 24 minutes. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to keep you long. Like I said, I'm just going to keep you for 1 hour. and kind of go from there. So I have talked big picture. Now let me give you some other things just to think about. You know, as Democrats, at least here in Georgia, and I only been back home now for 3 years. My last assignment was Israel, and so I really only been living back in the great state of Georgia, even though Georgia is my home. I only been living back in the great state of Georgia for the last 3 years. And since I've been in the world of politics, one of the things that amazes me is, as Democrats, we love to celebrate how we're winning early voting. I think that's pretty cool. But you don't get a trophy for winning early voting. You only get the trophy for winning early voting and then winning election day. And if you don't win those two things, or vice versa, you don't get a chance to flip this state. So I just want to be clear with everybody as we move into November and we get a chance to go into early voting. I want every last one of us to be able to be laser focused on getting as many people to early voting as possible. But regardless, if we make historical records and CNN and Fox News and everybody else is talking about it, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't you drink the Kool-Aid, because we still got work to do on election day. Because if you get to cheering too much, you think you have won the game, and you come back out and you get your ass kicked. Okay? So, and I guarantee you, Donald Trump is going to come back down here to Georgia. He's not coming back to Rome. He already came to see me, and he see that it didn't make a difference. But he's going to come back down here to Georgia, a lot more places. Probably going to come right there to Atlanta and some other places. But I will say this: if we all working together and we all doing the things we're supposed to do, we can win early vote, but we can also win on election day. Last night, we made history. Okay? Last night, we made history. I'm going to look at my phone here for a second. I think I still got in the same spot. Give me 1 second here. Last night, we had a major turnout here in Georgia of more than 2 million people voted. Give yourself a hand clap on that. That is awesome. That is awesome. Until you hear this part, it's 7 million people that are registered to vote in the great state of Georgia. Let that sink in for a minute. We made a record. 2 million plus people came out and voted in this election that we just finished. 7+ million people in the great state of Georgia is registered to vote. So that's what I'm saying to you, is that is a lot of opportunities for us as Democrats to get some of that 7 million to the polls, because if we can actually get people to the polls, we can win. I'm actually telling you point blank what I'm dealing with up here in Northwest Georgia. We have the numbers to win. Our problem is turnout. One election we have good turnout, the next one we don't. Some people say, well, I don't only vote in presidential elections. I don't vote in all these other things. I don't vote in runoffs. I don't vote in jungle things. So I'm just saying to you, as Democrats across the board and supporters of Democrats, let's make sure that we're getting people registered now. Let's make sure that when we get these people registered, just don't get them registered and walk away. You got to build a relationship with them. You got to actually probably take some time and say, okay, this is because if they never voted or they hadn't voted in a long, long time, they don't actually know how the process works. So you might need to take some time and say, hey, let me just walk you through how this process works. Or let me just show you the ballot that they just voted off. This is how that whole process works, because guess what? We all know come November, not one of us will have ever went through this new voting process. And what I mean by that, if they don't get things changed around or they get things changed to where they want it to be, they're going to be counting them by hand. I don't know how long does it take you to count things by hand, but I'm not going to lie to you. I was excited for everybody last night, but I was real sleepy because as a farmer, I'm up at 4:30 in the morning and 11 o'clock at night is quite late for me. So we might be in a situation where if they change this thing and now you got to count it by hand and we get the turnout that I'm talking about, we may be counting for the next 5, 6, 7 days to get a result like we're in the third world or something. So I just ask you to get with your organizers, to get with your teams across the board, get with the churches, get with the D9, get with everybody, get with every African-American community, get with my Muslim brothers, get with my Jewish brothers, get with everybody across the board and get organized and get people registered. But at the same time, people that are already registered, these part of these 7 million that's out there, let's go talk to them. Let's figure out why they've registered, but they don't come and get in the game. And let's help them get a better understanding why it's so important. And I said this the other day. I think I was on News Nation or something I was on. I actually said whatever I was on. You can look at it for yourself. But I firmly believe this, that if you don't vote, you voted. I'm going to let that sink in there for a second. If you didn't vote, you actually voted. Because the reality of it is, this last election I had with Clay, the difference was 15,000 people, whatever it was. It was 15,000 people that were left that actually have voted for me in the past that for whatever reason couldn't make time to come out and vote for me this time. That's okay. Nobody's upset. That's a learning point for me. That says me and my team, we got to work harder. We got to communicate better. That is 100% on me. We got to get better. But only thing I'm saying, if I learned that lesson, I'm trying to pass that lesson on to everybody else in the state to say, look, go meet the people where they're at and educate them, and then make sure, don't assume that they know that election day is next Tuesday, because hell, here in the great state of Georgia, we got an election every Tuesday. If I wasn't in politics, I wouldn't know myself that we got an election every other day running around this place with the foolishness that we deal with of the 50+1. I truly believe that this 50+1 needs to go away because it's just doing nothing but costing us additional money. If you win the election, you get the majority of votes, you win, keep moving. So hopefully we do away with this racist 50+1. We all know how it came about. If you don't, read your history. But I would just say this is the game that we're playing. So we have to get the 50+1 to win. And if you understand the rules of the game, you're going to be just fine. So that's that. Do I have any questions? Let me see. I see what somebody says there. And the reason why I got to lean forward, the computer is actually maybe 3 feet away from it. So I got to lean forward to see the thing there. I know my staff could put something on, but I just see what a lot of people saying. Hi, Sean. Proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. I don't see anything in there where it says, Sean, you suck. I don't see that yet. But I know everybody's not drinking Kool-Aid, but that's okay. When you get in the business of politics, everybody's not going to like you, and that's okay. And I'll say this. I'm in the leadership business. When you hear people talk about Sean Harris, they say leadership matters. And I'm a firm believer as a leader, on any given day, 50% of the people going to like your decisions and 50% of the people going to hate your decisions. Okay, got it. Just wait till tomorrow. We'll make some more decisions and it'll flip. But if you're making decisions what's best for the people, the person that even says that particular day, I don't like what your decision was, but I can respect it. That's when you know you're doing your job. And I think that's what we got special up here in Northwest Georgia. We speak plain. We speak directly to the people. We go and see the people. We're not scared to go anywhere. And We go to every zip code. We bring people with us to every zip code. Many people are voting for me here in Northwest Georgia simply because I came to their little hometown. They said nobody's ever been here before. They passed by us. I'm coming because the reason why I'm coming, and the reason why I think Democrats are coming is very simple. You matter. Your kids matter. Your grandkids matter. And your zip code should not make a difference on what kind of health care you're getting. Can you buy a house? Can you afford your bills? Now, I'll be honest with you, none of us can afford the gas and diesel that we put in our vehicles right now. That's a whole different story. But at the end of the day, here in Northwest Georgia, and I think all the way across the great state of Georgia, Democrats are going to go everywhere. And when I say everywhere, what I mean by that, Democrats get comfortable being uncomfortable. What I mean by that, go to places and knock on doors where somebody going to ask you, why the hell are you knocking on my door? I'm a Republican. That's what they're going to say to you. And you're going to say, can you afford your bills? When you go to work and you actually get paid, are you making enough money to feed your family? And you know what they're going to say to you? No, I can't. And that's when you're going to say, it's time for a change. And then you're going to tell them, I'm not asking you to become a Democrat, but I am asking you for this one time in November, vote for something different and just see if it's going to work. Because right now you've been drinking the Kool-Aid and the Kool-Aid is not tasting good. And somebody keeps telling you that your cost is not going up, but your cost is going higher and higher and higher. And something I said, I think it was on News Nation, go and Google it for yourself. I believe the center of gravity here in the great state of Georgia is going to be two things. It's going to be our farmers and small businesses. When you start seeing the farmers go belly up and they can't plant this summer because they can't afford diesel costs, or they can't get a crop in the ground because they can't get a loan, and you start seeing small town America and also large Atlanta businesses start shutting down because they can't cover the cost of semi trucks that bring the goods to them, because now there's a surcharge because of the diesel cost. That's when you're going to find out that many people, if you as Democrats go to places where you're not comfortable, you're going to find out you're going to pick up you some votes. You're going to pick up some votes because those are just hardworking, everyday people that are saying, if somebody would just come here and talk to me and speak plain, not no highfalutin words, just speak plain, you'll find out that those individuals will say, you know what, I voted for Trump last time, and I might have voted for Trump the time before that, and hell, I might have voted for Trump the time before that. But every time he keeps telling me something, for whatever reason, it doesn't happen. So it's time for a change. And the only thing I'm saying to you is, Democrats, don't beat them up. They great Americans. They just like us. They just drank the Kool-Aid and thought that it was going to be a little bit better. Now let me just move into my race so we can close this thing out. I think I got about another 14, 15 minutes. And I'm going to now come back to Northwest Georgia. But before I touch Northwest Georgia, I want to make sure that everybody here in Georgia, but I'll even extend that, if I can help you in some other state, please reach out to the team. We'll fly out. We'll do whatever we need to do. And we'll kind of go from there, because I believe there's a lot of other Democrats like me that live in ruby red districts that maybe we can't have certain people from the larger cities come to our districts, but you may can have a Sean Harris come, or you may can have somebody else come that can relate, that can speak to the people and say, you know what, give this young lady or give this young man a chance, and kind of go from there. Because, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, I will tell you point blank, up here in Northwest Georgia in the 14th, we got something special. If you heard what I said, I didn't say I got something special. I said, we got something special. I'm just the face of it because we're working around the clock, behind the scenes on a whole lot of different things. So the only thing I'm saying to you, if you're somebody else in some other state and you feel like you're all alone and you're in that Ruby Red district, or you out in a farming community and you need somebody to come and help talk to the farmers, or you're in a district where it's the veterans, but you know, they just been stuck on a red t-shirt, hell, give me a call. We'll get it figured out. We'll come out, spend a night, talk to everybody, and see, can we get things moving in the right direction? Because not only do we need to win here in Georgia, but we also need to be planting the seeds to win everywhere across the entire United States, but specifically across the South. And I'll just say what I saw some of my brothers and sisters say over there in Alabama the other day. Based on this Supreme Court thing, foolishness. If you get a scholarship right now, young people, and you look like me, hell, I used to play some pretty decent football myself. But you look like me, and some of these schools, all these schools down here in the SEC, I said it, in the SEC, that's changing all of these districts, making it hard for your mom and grandmama and dad and grandpa to vote. Go play at some other school. Go play somewhere else. You're still going to get your big money from NIL, and we still going to watch you on TV. But if we're going to continue to have to deal with this foolishness of 50+1, and we know how we got to 50+1, and now we got to continue to figure out how we're going to be able to vote or not vote, then take your talents to Michigan State, Michigan. Take your talent somewhere else. Take your talent somewhere else. And you still, good Lord bless you, you'll still make it to the NFL. You'll still make it to the NBA. You'll still make it to all these places. But let's don't reward states that are not doing the right thing. And I assure you, when Saturday football starts changing up, somebody's going to say, oh, we got to change something, boys and girls, because you done messed up our pastime. And so you heard it from me. I'm not going to back off that position. I love football on Saturdays. I do. But I want to make sure that my grandkids and great-grandkids got more rights than what I actually have today. Because right now we're going backwards. So that's that. Now, let me get into my race. Is there any questions? Everybody still saying, I see somebody saying, let's go. We must, Sean. I can barely see that. But the bottom line is this: the economy is the worst economy. I agree. You're exactly right. This is the worst economy, and it's getting rougher. You know, as a retiree, I'm on a fixed income. Period. I'm on a fixed income. And even with my retirement pay and everything else, I can feel it now. I actually go just riding around just to go riding around. Diesel costs too much. My truck is a diesel. And so I just will tell you, anybody's on a fixed income, I know you're hurting now. Anybody who's not on fixed income, I know you're hurting now. Across the board. One of the things that I kind of chuckled today, I was headed back home. I used to see a whole bunch of kids joyriding. Ain't nobody joyriding no more. The high school kids can't afford it. Or their parents said, I can't buy all this gas no more. You got to park that truck. Matter of fact, get on the school bus. You can't drive to school anymore. So now let me talk about my race. I will tell you point blank, starting now, we are coming. We took some time to help some others doing the primary since I wasn't running against anybody, but the machine is up and running, and it's running very well. We are already out the gates. If you look at my social media, I've already punched Fuller in the face today on the Epstein files. We're going to be punching hard. We're not going to be nasty, but we're going to call a spade a spade. And on top of that, we're going to make sure that we make him answer for all the things that he's not doing for all the people here in Northwest Georgia, period. On top of that, we will be going out to every zip code in the district. We will be actually asking people to donate money to our campaign. We will be actually out trying to up other candidates at the top of the ticket all the way to the bottom of the ticket. With that being said, you will see me somewhere with Jon Ossoff. You will see me somewhere with Keisha Bottoms. You will see me everywhere I go. Any of the down ballot tickets when I'm in your county, the answer is yes. Come on up. Get a chance to tell some words to the people to tell them why they need to vote for you. And the reason why I say that is don't spend your 2 or 3 minutes I'm going to give you in my town hall or whatever we calling it, talking about me. I want you to talk about you. Talk about what you're going to do for them at your level. Talk about what you're going to do at the Dome down in Atlanta. Or talk about what you're going to do as a city council or the county commissioner. Please don't spend your 2 or 3 minutes talking about me. I'm going to have plenty of time to talk about myself. I'm giving you that time to talk about yourself. At the same time, use my platform of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people coming to see me, and you get a chance to talk to all of them. So I just say that to all my down ballot people. We're coming, and we're coming fast. With that also being said, a couple things that I want you to understand is this. Northwest Georgia has a new role. Did everybody just catch that? I know it sounds crazy, but Northwest Georgia, I believe in the heart of hearts that we will be the reason why Jon Ossoff and Mrs. Bottoms win their races. Because if you go back now and look at the past elections, and there's smart people out there, you go back and look at the past elections, all of our counties are starting to trend blue, some faster than others, but they all are starting to move blue. And when I say move blue, we actually have Democrats, independents, and Republicans that are coming out and voting for me. I'm not going to say that there was Republicans going to cross over and vote for John or vote for Mrs. Bottoms. But if we can make our pool of Democrats and independents even bigger, those individuals will cross over and vote for those two. And that is how we're going to do our part up here to ensure that we flip the great state of Georgia in the governor's mansion, and at the same time keep John up there in the Senate because he's doing awesome work. And I want to join him and help him continue to do great things for us here in Georgia. So we have our mission. The mission's clear. Win in November. The other piece of that is if you hadn't did it today, tomorrow, come up on the net, say it was a great race, do all the right things, and then tell everybody that was supporting you, I want you to get in behind so-and-so, because we as Democrats got to get together. We got to stop fighting amongst ourselves. Let the Republicans fight amongst themselves. And then we can go out and spend every day trying to get it. How are we going to get these 7 million people to actually come out and vote? Now, a couple of things I want to bring to your attention before I start talking about a couple of things is this. I'm not going to say this is my first major event, but I'm excited about it. Can you put up the flyer for June 16th, please? Remember, I talked about veterans. And I told you that to my core, the word veteran is there. I remember as a kid, maybe 5th, 6th grade, I just wanted to be a soldier. That's all I wanted to do. And I was blessed to grow up and actually be able to do it. And was blessed to have some outstanding people around me, and was blessed to get promoted to brigadier general. And it's very exciting, and I actually got an opportunity to lead people in combat and everything else. But now as a retiree, only thing I want to do is wake up every day and go fight for just the everyday common man here in the United States in any kind of capacity. And one of those groups is our fellow veterans. And I'm so proud that I'm not sure if you can see it, but if you go to our website, I think it's already up. Please get it, share it. We want as many veterans to come to this event. At this event, we have, I think it's 3 general officers, and then we actually have Mara Kelly. Mara Kelly is a congressional candidate also. She retired as a lieutenant colonel, but she worked inside the VA here in Georgia. And so that when we're on the panel, we having this discussion, and as veterans, you can ask us any questions. It's no questions out of bounds. We're even going to talk about this war of choice that we're in and how it could be affecting the soldiers that are on the ground today and the soldiers of the future. But I just ask you to go to the website, RSVP. We have enough room for you. The only reason we ask you to RSVP is so that we'll figure out, kind of like what happened with Pete when he came down here to visit us a few months ago. Pete Buttigieg, when he came to visit a few days ago, or a few weeks ago rather, the place that we wanted it to be, as we started getting the RSVPs in, we found out that it was going to be too small, and from that, only thing we did is move it to another location. So I just want to make sure that as we get these RSVPs in, everybody's welcome. When I say everybody's welcome, the veterans welcome, the spouses welcome, the children that's taking care of the veterans welcome. Everybody is welcome, and we want to answer your questions. We want to impart some guidance onto you, and we want to make sure that here in Northwest Georgia, but veterans come from anywhere. They don't have to just be here in my district, because there's a lot of veterans that support me down there in Carrollton, which is actually in Mars district. So veterans can come from everywhere, and we just want to have that discussion because we want you to know that as veterans, Mara and I and every other veteran that's running for something, we will make sure that we will be fighting for you, because I know for a fact, because I go to the VA, we can do a whole lot better. And it looks like my team just put one of those Q code things on there. Please, if that's the case, Shelly, could give me a thumbs up. Please put your phone up to that thing and get all the information so you can start sharing it tonight. That'll be very helpful. My thing is, it's not about how many people are going to come, but it's about making sure that we talk directly to our veterans and get our veterans out. And I know in this district, we got about 40,000 veterans that we can track, but it may be even more. And I do know that particular week here in June, a couple of things will be happening here in our district. And I just want to make sure that I am doing my part to actually say to our veterans, I see you. I love you. I'm going to continue to fight for you. And I look at it being no different than when I was in combat. Hell, I didn't ask you when I was in combat, were you a Democrat, Independent, or Republican, or whatever. You were my soldier, you were my brother, you were my sister. We're all going to come back home. And that's just still the same way I look at it today when I'm out of this uniform, is I can care less if you're a Democrat, Independent, or Republican. That night, we are talking to you as a fellow veteran. And that night, when I say a veteran, I don't care how you ended up getting out of the military. Okay? If you understand what I'm saying, I don't care how you got to get out of the military. I still want to shake your hand and thank you for your service, because everybody's made some mistakes, and that's okay. But I just want to make sure that you know that we care enough. And the cool thing is, this event will be happening right here in my little hometown of Rockmart, Georgia. Was that a question up that popped up, Shelly? Okay, great. Shelly just put it on the board there. If everybody can go to that particular website, please, and share it with all your friends. I don't care if people fly in from New York, California, whatever, because Well, right now with the economy where it is, our veterans are hurting extremely bad. Our health care is not what it needs to be here in Northwest Georgia. We actually, some people would say we're living in a healthcare desert, especially when it comes to the VA and people being there to get to their appointments, especially with the cost of prices of gas and everything else. So that was one thing that I wanted to point out to you. And my little live thing there says that I've been talking for 55 minutes. Man, I should become a college professor or something. But for 55 minutes. But the other thing I want to touch on is this. Is Shelly, will you put up how can people volunteer to join my team? All right. Is that the volunteer thing that you just put up? Okay. That's this. Please take time. Please put your phone up there. Please tonight sign up. We need your help making phone calls. We need your help knocking on doors. We need your help putting out signs. We need you because the reason why I need your help putting out signs because the Republicans steal my damn signs every other day. So I need people to go put back up signs and all that kind of stuff. I need your help to make those phone calls. I need people who say, hey, I'm comfortable going in neighborhoods where, Sean, like you said, get comfortable being uncomfortable. And guess what? I'm going to go with you. I'm not going to send you somewhere that I won't go. I'm going to go right there and knock on the doors with you. We're going to do all those things. So please sign up for the team. And so I thank you for that in advance. Our headquarters is right there in Rome, Georgia. I'm going to throw you a curveball, Shelly. Do you have the address or can you put the address to our headquarters there in Rome? So if people trying to find it or whatever, they can get it figured out. And then as you trying to do that, I know I should have told you that before the show, Shelly, but you know, I'm a little off. The last thing is this. I'm still in a ruby red district. And I try my best to make it seem easy and smooth and no pressure. And that's just how I roll. That's just how I function. You don't need to know all the behind the scenes. But what I would ask you is this. I don't care if you're here in the great state of Georgia or all the way out there in California. Shelly's going to put up on the screen right now, how can you donate to my campaign? Now, what I would tell you is this. I know the economy's tough. Please, if you don't have it, don't give it to me. Just put me in your prayers, okay? Put me in your prayers. But I will also tell you this. When we ran against Clay last time for those little 3 weeks, we was in that little runoff thing, whatever we was doing. I don't know what they called it. The Republicans spent $2+ million on me, and the best they could come up with is Sean's a liberal. I don't even really know what that means, but that's the best they could come up with. That's the commercial they ran. Guess what? I didn't actually have enough money left to actually run a commercial against them. And I didn't have any PAC money like Clay gets from like he gets from, I can't think of the name of it. Shelly, can you put in the chat where he gets his money from? I can't think of the name of it right now, but I didn't have that money. So I'm asking people now to donate to my campaign so that we can actually build our money up. We're not going to spend it crazy. We're going to make sure that we have money now, but we're going to actually make sure that we're never in that mistake again, that we get right down to those last 3 or 4 days of the election. And if I need to put out a commercial, I need to put something out, we actually have the money that I can go and buy that commercial in Atlanta. And for some of y'all guys to know our district is split between Atlanta and Chattanooga, Tennessee. That simply means when I watch TV at my house, all of my news come from Atlanta, but anybody north of Rome, Georgia, all of their TV or radio information comes from Chattanooga, Tennessee. So we have to advertise in 2 different worlds to ensure that we get everything. Hey guys, give a shout out to Shelly. Shelly knocks it out of the park because we hadn't even talked about that. And that is the address and the times to our headquarters. Now, as this campaign ramps further and further back up, we will go back to 7 days a week. This is what we were just running during the primary because we had actually pulled back a little bit to take some time off, breathe, because we've been running hard for a long time. But one of the things I'm proud that I want to just say thank you to all of my volunteers that were making phone calls, because you were making phone calls for the two judges that were running for the Supreme Court. Unfortunately, they didn't win, but we did our part. That's all we can do, is try to do our part. So with that, I just want to say thank you all in advance. I'm not going to say I'm going to come up on the net every week and talk to you, but I will say this. Periodically during this campaign, I will make myself available so that I come up live. And when I come live, I want you to ask me hard questions. That's people inside the district, but at the same time, people all across the whole United States. And if I can actually make it work, I don't know, but if I can make it work, maybe one night I come on and I got Jon Ossoff on here with me, or one night I come on and I got Keisha on here with me, or I got somebody else on here with me. Because as Democrats, we got to all be working together if we plan to hit our mission, and that mission is to win in November, period. So Northwest Georgia, outside of Georgia, let's all get to rowing the boat in the same direction. Let's all make sure that we laser focus on the mission, and that mission is to flip that governor's house to a Democrat, to make sure that Jon Ossoff is still our senator, and to make sure that I'm in Congress, but to make sure that everybody else down ballot, no matter where they're at in the great state of Georgia, or whatever campaign they run in the other parts of Georgia is running for Congress, regardless of what it is, let's get in behind them and give them all your support. Guys, I just want to say thank you. I look forward to seeing some of you at the veteran event. Shelly, can you put the veteran event back up again? Because I want to make sure if somebody just jumped on, they actually know we having this veterans event. And I want to make sure that they got the QR code. If it's a QR code for it, or a volunteer or whatever, please get this veterans event. It's on my social media right now. Share it with everybody. All the veterans are welcome. And it's going to be a great night, a great event for us to say thank you, first of all, to all our veterans. And at the same time, have them tell us what are their needs and how can we get at it to fix it. So again, with that, hey, I've been talking now for 1 hour and 2 minutes. It's time to get off. It's time to go and get ready to get up in the morning and go win this election across the board. Again, everybody, thank you. Appreciate you. When you see me out there somewhere, stop me and say, hey, I tell you this, and I'm hop off the net. Today, I'm standing out in the pasture in front of my house. The Amazon man, no, I can't say it's Amazon. FedEx man is bringing my mother-in-law something that she didn't order. He goes up the driveway and he's coming back out. And he actually slams on brakes and look at me in the pasture and he says, "You're Sean Harris." And I say, "Yes, I am Sean Harris." And he says, "You the cattle guy." I says, "Yeah, I am the cattle guy. I'm standing out here with the cows." And then he says, "I voted for you. Keep doing what you're doing." So again, be yourself, be who you are, be true to who you are, and go out and win. Go be great. See you around somewhere. Have a good one. Bye-bye. I'm Sean Harris. I was born and raised on a farm in southwest Georgia, Early County. I went off to the United States Marine Corps, enlisted. After doing years in the Marine Corps, I actually joined the United States Army through ROTC and became an officer. After retiring as a Brigadier General, we came right back home to Georgia, this time coming to Northwest Georgia. We bought this beautiful farm and started raising cattle. I am vested in Northwest Georgia. I believe in Northwest Georgia. And that's why I'm running for Congress, because I want to represent you and stay focused on Northwest Georgia. My mother raised me to believe in integrity, honesty, transparency, doing the right thing for others. These are all the things that are missing in Washington, D.C. I'm working every day to earn your vote here on this farm, but also when you see me out and about crisscrossing Northwest Georgia, because you deserve a leader that puts you, your kids, and your grandkids first. Please check out my website, reach out to my team, or join me at a town hall and ask me any questions that you would like to. When you see me out and about anywhere, stop me. Let me shake your hand. We could talk about anything. We could talk about politics. We can just talk about our grandkids. Because I want to get to know you, because I want to make sure that I'm representing the people here in Northwest Georgia the right way. After serving you and this great country for 40 years, I want to serve you in an honorable way. And I want to make sure that when I go to D.C., that you and all of Northwest Georgia is my focus. I ask for your support. I ask for your prayers. And I want to make sure that you know that I care about you and I see you. God bless America, and I hope to see you soon. I'm Sean Harris, and I approve this message.